Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. Currently, the enemies that are emerging in the world of One Piece are extremely powerful, and some of the most powerful that we've seen in the entire series. And this means that Luffy and the Straw Hats will have to face them at some point in their journey if they want to fulfill all of their dreams. Now, when it comes to Zoro and Sanji, these are literally the right and left wings of the future King of the Pirates, or kind of the right-hand man and the left-hand man within the crew. And they're responsible for protecting their companions and supporting their captain whenever necessary. However, they might not be strong enough to fight these powerful new enemies. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Sanji and Zoro's capabilities, how powerful they currently are, and analyze whether or not they're capable of facing off against powerful enemies like admirals. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like and even subscribe and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it keeps motivating us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with your friend. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, Zoro and Sanji are two of the strongest members of the Straw Hat Pirates and are considered extremely powerful within the world of One Piece. Now, although Sanji and Zoro are formidable in their own right and have demonstrated remarkable skill and growth throughout our story, it's important to understand that admirals are considered some of the most powerful figures in the Marines as well as just in the world overall. Therefore, the admirals present not only a very high level of strength and skill, but they're going to be the major obstacles in the path of any enemy who tries to confront them or the world government. So let's take a second to analyze Zoro and Sanji's abilities individually to see how powerful they currently are. So starting with our ship's cook, Sanji, he's an expert in leg-based martial arts and is known for his incredible agility and speed. Now, Sanji underwent rigorous training on Kamabaka Island, which allowed him to develop his physical abilities beyond the normal human limit. Sanji's signature technique is called Diable Jump, which involves heating his legs to extremely high temperatures, and this increases the power of his kicks and also adds a fire element to it. Since being in the New World, Sanji has demonstrated a significant increase in his strength and skill, and even managed to fight and defeat Queen, one of the all-stars of the Beast Pirates, and he even surpasses him after awakening his latent genetic abilities. Not only that, he also temporarily kept King, another all-star and second in command to Kaido, busy in combat while other people were busy. On the other hand, Zoro is an incredibly skilled swordsman who has dedicated himself to becoming the strongest and greatest swordsman in the world. Now, during the time skip, he underwent intensive training with Dracula Mihawk, the current strongest swordsman in the world, and this further improved his skills. Zoro has multiple different devastating sword techniques and is known for his incredible physical strength, and he's also capable of using all three forms of haki, which makes him an extremely powerful character overall. Throughout his journey with the Straw Hats, Zoro has faced formidable adversaries and defeated many of them, including Pika, one of Doflamingo's elite officers who was able to turn himself into stone. And furthermore, he also injured Kaido and left a permanent scar. Now, this was the Yonko of the Beast Pirates, and famous for being nearly indestructible and having an impenetrable resistance. These achievements are impressive and clearly show that Zoro is among some of the strongest fighters in the world of One Piece. So although Sanji and Zoro are arguably two of the strongest members of the Straw Hat Pirates and have achieved some notable victories against very powerful opponents, it's still important to note that Marine admirals are considered some of the most formidable warriors in the entire world of One Piece. Each of these admirals possesses advanced haki, exceptional devil fruit abilities, and a vast experience in battle. And Marine admirals such as Kizaru, Fujitoro, and Ryokugyu are known for their extraordinary abilities and devastating powers. Therefore, while Sanji and Zoro are notable fighters and have faced some very impressive challenges, it's reasonable to argue that they may not yet be on that same level as a Marine admiral, because they represent the pinnacle of military strength in One Piece's universe. However, in a world filled with powerful and ever-evolving characters, you never know what the future holds for these two talented members of the Straw Hat Pirates. And it's important to recognize that a character's strength and skill in One Piece can evolve, and we've seen it evolve throughout our story. Now, because these are two of the more important members of the crew, not diminishing what anybody else brings to the table, these two especially are always looking to become stronger to achieve their goals, and this includes the search for the One Piece and overcoming increasingly greater challenges. Each of these men also have very ambitious personal goals. Zoro wants to become the greatest swordsman in the world, and Sanji is seeking out the All Blue, a legendary sea that brings together ingredients from all four of the seas. And these personal goals drive their motivation to become much more powerful and able to take on more formidable adversaries. Additionally, we've also seen throughout One Piece's stories characters that frequently acquire new abilities, develop advanced techniques, and even face challenges that force them them to surpass their own limits. And this means that in the future, and not a very distant future at that, Zoro and Sanji may find ways to further increase their strength and reach even greater heights of power. It's also very important to remember that in battle, strategy, teamwork, and the combined skills of various members of the crew often play a crucial role in their victories. And Zoro and Sanji have a healthy rivalry, but they also know how to cooperate when the situation demands it. And this makes them an even greater and more formidable team. Comparing this teamwork to the admirals, another important factor to remember is that Navy admirals are selected from amongst the best in the entire organization, and each has notable skills and extensive combat experience, because the admiral represents the order and authority of the world government itself, and they are often tasked with maintaining the peace in the world, also taking on threats of greater magnitude, such as keeping some of the Yonko in check, and also other powerful adversaries that might creep up around the world. So while Zoro and Sanji are undoubtedly impressive in each of their own areas of expertise, being swordplay and leg-based martial arts respectively, admirals may have a much wider, multifaceted range of skills that they've had to master as they climb the ranks in the Marines. Even to obtain the rank, admirals have to demonstrate exceptional skills in the use of haki, not only armament and observation, but they also have to have advanced levels of both of those kinds. And this is going to allow them to predict opponents' movements, protect themselves against attacks, and cause significant damage to their opponents. Admirals also coincidentally possess extremely powerful and versatile devil fruits. For example, Kizaru is the owner of the Pika Pika no Mi, which is a Logia-type devil fruit that allows him to control and become light, which also allows him to attack at the speed of light. Because of their time in service of the Marines, admirals have also faced very numerous high-level opponents throughout their careers, and also have extensive combat experience. Plus, they also have the responsibility of leading the Navy into important battles. And these are opportunities that, although Zoro and Sanji have had them, maybe not have had them on the scale that a Marine Admiral has. Now, this doesn't mean we are discounting Sanji and Zoro's experiences. They are incredibly talented and strong, and because they've focused specifically on their areas of expertise, we could also see that their abilities are much more focused rather than spread out like a Marine Admiral's. So just like I mentioned earlier, the journey in One Piece is full of challenges and opportunities for growth, and both of these characters have ambitious goals, which will see them face increasingly formidable adversaries. So as we head into this final saga, in the future of the series, we are gonna see Sanji and Zoro continue to evolve and acquire new skills that will bring them ever closer to the level of admirals. And the healthy rivalry between these two characters could be additional motivation and another catalyst to reach these new heights of power, because Zoro is never gonna get very far ahead of Sanji without Sanji racing to catch up, and vice versa. So while Zoro and Sanji may not be currently on the same level as Marine Admirals in terms of general skills and experience, the nature of our One Piece story is going to allow them to have continued character development and more challenges to overcome. So undoubtedly, we will see these two characters surpass that level of an admiral, but they're just not there quite yet. And if you think about it, if they already were, the end of the saga just wouldn't be that exciting, because the Straw Hats have continually faced greater and greater challenges. And we know that with things like Imu and all of the other things that await them to getting to Laugh Tale, we do want to see them struggle and grow and overcome, because that's one of the things that makes this story so endearing to all of us fans. One factor that I do want to highlight as a strength for the Straw Hats, though, is their ability to adapt and work as a team. Now, although an admiral is in leadership, because of that leadership role, they're probably more used to delegating and working solo rather than having to work in a team. And this is something that allows the Straw Hats to grow and really overcome these seemingly insurmountable odds. And the synergy between these crew members could be that crucial factor when it comes to facing admiral-level opponents and eventually exceeding the level of admirals. Ultimately, the entire Straw Hat crew is made up of remarkable individuals, each with their own extraordinary abilities. Characters like Luffy, who have advanced hockey skills, to Nico Robin, who has in-depth knowledge of the world and really is possibly the only person that can read the ancient language, as well as some really versatile combat skills. Everyone else on the crew also brings something unique to the table, so we don't want to count out people like Usopp and Nami and Chopper and Jinbei or anybody else, even Brook. Each of them is going to bring something to the table that is going to play an important role, not only against the Battle of Admirals, but all the other challenges left to this crew. And this is especially because One Piece is mainly characterized by surprising twists and dramatic moments of overcoming challenges. So everything that this crew will face, it often requires them to reach new heights of power power and learn to overcome their limitations. So although we aren't there yet, Zoro and Sanji will have their moment where, so although we're not there quite yet, we have to know that Zoro and Sanji will have that moment where they're going to be able to pool their skills and experience and be able to defeat Navy admirals, and possibly even more difficult opponents at that. But until that moment, Zoro and Sanji will still be looking to reach and exceed the level of an admiral, and we're going to see all kinds of challenges and obstacles for them to overcome, which will eventually force these two pirates to become stronger so that one day they can surpass anyone and ensure that their captain becomes the next king of the pirates. But with all that said, my friends, we'd now love to know what you think about it. What kind of challenges do you see happening for Zoro and Sanji in the near future? And where do you think they are compared to an admiral? Would they be maybe vice admiral level, or maybe just below admiral? Let us know what you think about all that in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Make sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that red subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.